Fats, aka Cam Jennings, coming at you on behalf of the Cam Fats YouTube channel. And I gotta tell you, the Mandela effect has done it to me again. At least that's my opinion. Some of you guys out there might be watching this video, and when I show you what I'm getting ready to show you, you might say, dude, it's always been like that. But I have to say, for me, I was floored. I couldn't believe it. So let me get over to screen share and show you what I'm talking about. So our journey starts over here on Google Earth. Get this thing to load up for me here. Believe it or not, I had this pulled up, and I don't know what happened. I'm using the online version of Google Earth, and this always works better when I use the downloadable version of Google Earth. So I had this pulled up, and now it's reset. Oh, there it is. Oh, it came back. Cool. So yeah, so we were on vacation. We went on vacation Wednesday, and on Friday we came back. It was a little mini vacay, you know. But as I rolled back into town, I was on this road right here. I was seeing exactly what you guys are seeing, okay? And as I was driving, you know, I was looking at the road and I was looking at the stores, you know, like you do when you're driving. And I noticed this right here. And it just stuck out to me like a sore thumb. And I'm going to tell you what it is in a second. You know, I've driven on this road like thousands of times. You have to understand, I grew up in this town, and that place is really old. And I've driven on this road thousands of times, and this time it was different to me in my mind. Like, it just stuck out. I can't explain to you how much it stuck out like a sore thumb. But I know you can't see the sign, so I took the liberty of pulling up a better shot. I'm going to go ahead and close Google Earth. We're done with that. We don't need that anymore. Here's a closer shot of what I was looking at, all right? And as you see, very close, it's still a little small, but it says laundromat. That says laundromat on the sign. Now, this laundromat has been here for a long time. And you still might not be able to see it from this picture. So let's get a little closer. This is what it looks like a little bit closer right here. Laundromat right there. Laundromat. It's interesting because now for me, it's always been laundromat. That R and that O, or that O right there, has always been a Y. It's always been laundromat, not laundromat. And it stuck out like a sore thumb to me. Now, some of you guys might be watching this and you might be thinking, dude, it's always been laundromat. But for me, I don't remember it being a laundromat. It was always laundromat. And this specific sign had always said laundromat, like with a Y. But it doesn't say that anymore. So strange to me. And when I look up, and this is what I love. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some of these because we don't need them anymore. So the issue becomes, is it laundromat or is it laundromat? How can I be 43 years old and have never known the correct spelling of laundromat? I mean, it's weird. I don't have a problem spelling Wednesday. Here's another word that doesn't spell like it sounds, but I never had a problem with it before. In fact, I'm a pretty decent speller. I don't usually have a problem writing words, you know. Well, you know, I misspell things from time to time, but I generally know how things are spelled. And like I said, you know, it's just I've never seen so many words that I have just been misspelling and unaware of the correct spelling, you know, as I have just these last couple years. Since 2016, when I discovered this Mandela effect phenomenon, I just started seeing all these things pop up that they're wrong. I just remember them wrong, I guess. And laundromat is one of them. I mean, that word looks so off to me. And it's funny because another thing that I see cropping up with the Mandela effect, with the coming of the Mandela effect in the last couple years here, another thing that I see popping up is all these elaborate articles explaining how people commonly mispronounce things, like this one. If you're unsure of the proper term for the Dutchman's laundry and other self-service or coin-operated laundry facilities is laundromat, or laundromat with 2 words, you are not alone. In fact, this is a question we hear all the time. So we thought we'd use this post to shed some light on the topic. Really? I don't ever remember in my life of 43 years people saying, you know what, man, laundromat's really weird and really hard to spell. That's the thing about these elaborate descriptions, you guys. These elaborate explanations for these words. It's like they're elaborate explanations for the misspellings of these words. And if you just take them at face value, it's like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's what this is, a fake Mandela effect. It's not real, man. It's commonly misspelled word. If you just take it at face value, that's what it seems like. But if you just stop for a second and think about it, it's like, wait a minute, dude, that doesn't make sense. Laundromat has always been a word that's spelled pretty much exactly how it sounds. Laundry mat. It's always been that way. But now all of a sudden, it's not that way. It's laundromat. And it's odd to me. It's very odd. And this is supposedly a common misspelling, though. And, but I've never heard anybody say, man, that damn laundromat's hard to spell. I've never heard anybody say that. It's a common misspelling since when? Since when is this a common misspelling? It's amazing. I look up laundromat sign on Google, and they start changing they change it automatically to laundromat sign. So I have to look up laundromat in quotations, right? And I pull it back, and I find all these, pictures of laundromats. But if I type in laundromat sign in quotations, I'm going to pull up back a bunch of, you guessed it, laundromat signs. It's a common misspelling, but not a single person has ever spelt the name on the sign wrong. It's always right. I can go back 2 or 3, 4 pages. It'll all be laundromat. Laundromat. Everywhere I go, laundromat, man. It's the laundromat. We're going down to the laundromat, wash some clothes, the old laundromat. Am I the only one out here that sees this when I see it on the sign, it just sticks out like a sore thumb? Maybe it's just me. Jordan's laundromat. It's all laundromat. Now, this is an odd one. Here's an iStock photo, and this one's a little bit different. This says laundermat. Laundermat. There's an E right there. It's almost like, that's the only instance I found of this being spelled wrong in some way. It's weird. And I know a lot of you out there might say, well, it's a common misspelling because we got things like this: do-it-yourself laundry, high center laundry, coin-op laundry. So you see the laundry on the sign, and you just kind of you mistake it for saying laundromat. The memory plays tricks on people. That's a great surface level explanation. But if you search your heart, you will find that explanation is very odd when you start trying to apply it to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things. Right? That's, how many of you guys out there who are Mandela affected remember being wrong about just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things, except for just the last couple of years, right? Because I'll tell you what, man. I mean, I've never been so wrong about so many basic things in my life. Laundromat. Let's look at something else I think is kind of weird. If we look at Google Trends for this word, here's laundromat, the way I remember it. And I do also remember it being spelled like this sometimes. Laundromat as one word, and then laundromat as two words. I remember both of these spellings. Never seen this spelling before until yesterday when I was coming home from vacation. And this is interesting because when I look at Google Trends, and I have to tell you, when I started using Google Trends as a tool for the Mandela effect back in 2016, I found a lot of discrepancies, right? A lot of anomalies that didn't make sense. But now I can tell you in 2019, I find a lot less discrepancies. It's almost like Google Trends, it's almost like they've fixed Google Trends somehow. And like whenever there's a Mandela effect, like it'll look like the way it is now is the way it's always been in Google Trends. It's always trending higher than the way you remember it now. And but there's also still small anomalies too. And this is one of those small anomalies. So as we see here, the blue and the yellow are laundromat and laundromat, right? And they're way down here in popularity, right? Now these lines are based on popularity. Whatever's the most popular, it's going to be the highest, right? And it's going to, at the time it is the most popular. The most popular, that's when it's going to be at the highest. So everything else is going to be relative to the most highest point of popularity for whatever you got on this scale. I hope that makes sense. I know that's a little bit weird. But what it basically means is that since 2004, for the last 15 years or so, laundromat has been way more searched than these other two things. But here's the funny part. For the first, 5, years, 6 years, they were all about the same, right? And that makes sense, right? People searching for, hey, where's the closest laundromat? And, maybe they're misspelling it with the yellow and the red. They're misspelling laundromat and laundromat. But most people are getting the spelling right as laundromat. That makes sense. But what doesn't make sense is it just starts to just go crazy and spike up. And it's seasonal, right? It's seasonal, right? It's always seasonal in the summertime. People are always entering it in way, way more in the summertime. Boom, 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 boom. And when is it at its most popular? It's at its most popular right now. Right now. Now it's at its most popular. In 2019, when everyone's got a washer and dryer at their house, and only some people use the laundromat. Not like it was, 20 years ago when more people use the laundromat than they do now. Now it's at its most popular. Laundromat is at its most popular. These other misspellings, they've also gained a tiny bit of traction, but not nearly as much. I mean, it's almost like laundromat just started giving away free money, and everyone started typing in where they could go get the free money. But you only got the free money if you went to the laundromat, not the laundromat or the laundromat, just the laundromat. Like, it's hard to explain this giant spike in trend for laundromat. And to me, this is a strange anomaly. This is a strange discrepancy in Google Trends. And it makes me feel like it's a red flag. Like this analytical data that I'm looking at has been doctored or altered in some way. It doesn't make sense to me. So if you're out there right now and you're like me and you're thinking, you know what, this whole laundromat thing is weird because I don't remember it being spelled laundromat. I don't remember that being spelled that way. Hey, listen, let me know if you find some proof that your memories are correct. When I look at Google Trends analytical data, it tells me that there's something weird about the search for laundromat. It's awful strange. But I'd love to hear your opinion on it. I didn't make this video because of what I thought or cared about what I thought. I know what I think. I made this video because I wanted to hear from you, and I wanted to know what you thought. So whether you agree with me or you don't agree with me, it's all good. It's all cool. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. All I ask is that you don't fight with each other in my comment section. We're all adults here. We can be civilized. Thanks so much for watching another one of my videos, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Peace, everybody.